This next speaker was announced as the UNC candidate for Toco, Sangre Grande. He has hit the ground running. He has hit the ground running, knocking on every door. Wayne Sturge is the UNC candidate for Toco, Sangre Grande, and he's bringing 28 years of experience as a criminal defense attorney. He serves as joint head of chambers at Regis Chambers and has a distinguished record of public service, including his tenure as an opposition senator from 2015 to 2017. As a former member of the National Carnival Commission, he has demonstrated his deep commitment to cultural development. Also, he has previously occupied the roles of executive member of the Council of the Law Association of Trinidad and Tobago, as well as the Criminal Bar Association. UNC family, St. Augustine, please put your hands together and welcome, coming out of his walkabout, the candidate for Toco, Sangre Grande, representing the UNC, Mr. Wayne Sturge.
Until the philosophy which old one race superior and another inferior is finally.
Good night, St. Augustine. Toco, Sangre Grande, good night. Ladies and gentlemen, ever since I was announced, I have made an effort to walk all of the electoral districts in Toco, Sangre Grande. And I was surprised at how easy it was, deceptively easy. But there are still quite a few die-hard PNM supporters who would try to hold out and tell me why. And tell me why they are still going to vote PNM. I always ask them one question when they say that. Having regard to the last 10 years, and I want you to answer this, having regard to the last 10 years, can any of you give me one good reason why they should get another 5? Well, hear what? Their last argument, the last fig leaf to cover their shame, they say, you know why I'm not voting? Because there's no difference between the PNM and the UNC. You hear that? So, I had to tell them, no, it's different. And I made a list. Because we are not like them. We are not like them. We choose our leader by a democratic process in internal elections. They choose their leaders at the behest of their 1%ers and their financiers. Why? You ask yourself why in October or November last year, Keith Rowley cancelled the convention. Ask yourself why. Because he got word that Stuart Young does not have the support of the base. So what did he do? He cancelled the convention and prevented the PNM voters from exercising their franchise and foisted his Siamese twin, his Siamese bully twin on us. So we are not like them. In the PNM, not all animals are created equal, as they say in Animal Farm. When the cell phone of a 1%er goes missing, they could find it. When yours lost, it lost. When the vault of a 1% in Westmoreland gets stolen in a home invasion, in 24 hours, and they find it, The police could move mountains. The PNM gets their police to move mountains to find it. When home invasions happen and there's rape and robbery, even with DNA, no justice. But when a 1% is affected, they always bring the perpetrators to justice. When there is a crater or a pothole in Westmoreland or Bayshore or Goodwood Park, it don't live to see 48 hours. But in Milau, Vega de Oropuch, in Balata, in Bwabwande, Northwest, the roads are the worst in this country. And I want to ask you, and just as I asked them, if the roads are so bad, why another 5 years, particularly when Rawan Sinanan is from Sangre Grande. He's the Minister of Road. Especially when his proxy, Mr. Monroe, is from Sangre Grande. And still the worst roads. So you ask me, are all animals equal? Because the PNM, when they say, we love you and they take care of you, they was talking to the 1%ers. They wasn't talking to the ordinary man. And that is what you have to tell them. They are not like us. In the West, water 24/7. 24/7. In Milau, in Vega de Oropuch, where they had no water problems before the PNM came into power, they changed a 4-inch main into a 2-inch main and redirected the water to another settlement. Now they have to buy water. Is that right? You are paying taxes. What is the difference between your taxes and your vote and the vote of the people in Westmoreland and the taxes they pay? But the PNM takes care of their own. Let me tell you how we different. When rich people children get sick, when the financiers children get sick, they can afford to fly them out. When your children get sick, it have no more children life fund, it have no more Coover Children's Hospital, it's cake sale. And you can't have the kind of cake sale like them, because according to them, a cake sale build Balize house, eh? Let me tell you again, because water, let me go back to water. When Basdio Pandey was saying water for all, which is a fundamental human right that must not be subject to politicization, the PNM demonized the UNC for bringing Severn Trent into Trinidad and Tobago and building a desalination plant and say you'll get cancer. But did they get rid of it? When they couldn't build an airport, Project Pride, in 5 short years, the UNC built an airport terminal, and they call it a glorified cowshed. Now they are boasting it's the best in the Caribbean. So the PNM always demonize what they cannot do. Let me give you an example how we not like them. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, laptops for all SCA graduates. When they come in, they take it away because the children of poor people must not be on equal footing with the children of the rich. Colm Imbert said 10 years ago in his first budget presentation that we will have free Wi-Fi nationwide in 1 year. Up to now, we ain't get that. And when COVID come, poor people children have no laptop. Poor people children have no free Wi-Fi. So poor people children had to be left behind. Because according to the PNM, the poor people children only good for 10 days at URP. And when they can't get 10 days at URP, they had to turn to crime. And they don't care. And when election day, they go come and put $500 in a jersey. They turn the youth of Toco, Sangre Grande into hustlers. That is the PNM. Every election. But I want to tell the youth of Toco, Sangre Grande that Rawan Sinanan drives a Maybach. That's $5 million. Right. So tell him you don't want no hungry 500. When he come with his stinking 500, tell him at least a 5,000 day. And still vote him out. Let me tell you how we not like them. When it comes to VAT, we remove VAT from thousands of food items. The PNM remove VAT from golfing equipment. The PNM remove VAT for yachties. But poor people had to pay VAT. So when they tell you it's two sides of the same coin, no, we not like them. We not like them. And now we have a bully coming to ask for another 5 years. Today I saw on the front page, I don't buy papers, but I was in Massey. I passed, I see the 2 front page, and I see he say, let's move on. No, time for a new chapter. Because it doesn't benefit him. But what about the life that was destroyed? He had to move on to? What about Short Pants, the Calypsonian who tried to sing and bring up the issue and had to end up leaving, punished, because the father say he had to go, because the father is a big wig. What about that? Is that fair? And now, April 28th, he asking you for another chance to bully we for the next 5 years. Are you going to give him that chance? He asking for another chance because before 2015, his family's business, NCB Global, was no billion-dollar company. But between 2015 and 2025, and almost 200 recusals later, the company is worth $4 billion. They're bullying the friends in the cabinet, they're bullying the taxpayers, and now they're coming back to level more bully and we. Where we go and do them? Ride out, vote them out. I can't take this no more. Ladies and gentlemen, poor people fed up. Let me go. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
This one reaching out to all the leaders and the media. This is Rodney Price, a.k.a.